gonna do on Wednesday when you're not here.
Alright, back to cross sections. Now they're perpendicular to the y-axis. So, when you are perpendicular to the y-axis, every single variable that goes in your equation needs to be a y. So the bottom and the top become your endpoints. Those are y values. So like the lower and the upper. The equation needs to be in terms of y. Every equation you use. So we got a problem right away. Is that equation in terms of y? In terms of y means it solves for x. So this is not the correct setup. So the first thing I've got to do is get x by itself. So every single thing I put in this equation, everything in here has to be y. So I can't put in negative x squared plus 4. So I've got to solve it. So I got it. So subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to divide by negative first. So I get like x squared equals negative y plus 4. Okay. And then I square root it, right? Well, that gives you 2 square roots. The positive and the negative version. So when we did this before, we had like the positive one was the top half of the circle or whatever, and the negative one was the bottom. This is really similar, it's just flipped sideways. So where are x values positive, on the right or the left? It's on the right, so that's this one. So that's this equation here. And then color coordinated. That's this one. I've also got, these are semicircles. So I've got like this distance is kind of coming up out of the board, making half circles. Something like that, like a horseshoe ring or something. So, what's the area of a semicircle? So we can start like that. Well, we can start like this actually. So 1/2 pi r squared. But these are diameters, so I have to divide the diameter by 2 and then square it. And then what some of you have been doing is saying, okay, well that is, yeah, like 1/2 d squared. And if I square the 1/2, don't I get 1/4 times the 1/2 in front? So I heard a couple when I asked what the area was, you jump to this right away, and that's fine. As long as you know when to use it, what it is. So my job is to integrate that. A lot of colors, but save your life, man. I'll tell you about it. So the volume equals the integral of the area, which is 1/8 pi times the diameter squared times dy. And keep in mind, every single thing you put in here has to be a y value. So when I go to do my limits, am I doing -2 to 2 or am I doing 0 to 4? I'm doing 0 to 4 because those are the y values. Everything's got to be a y value. And then it's 1/8 pi times the diameter squared. Well, how big is the diameter? The diameter is this distance. Thanks, man. What's that distance? In general, right minus left. So we want the right equation. So the square root of -y plus 4 minus the left equation, which is the negative square root of -y plus 4. And then we got dy. So again, re-emphasizing that everything you put in there y value on the bottom, y value on the top. The y equation on the right minus the y equation on the left, and then dy. How's that? Questions there? What about this? Where'd you get this from? Why'd you put this here? Negative cubed.
Oh, okay.
It's gotta all be y value. So what's like this isn't I don't think terrible. But then tomorrow I'm pulling like all the stuff I've done in the last 2 weeks. So like there's 6 equations that I've got, they're all on board. And like that's when it gets really hard to start to mix and match what to use when. Are there any questions on what? Got it crushed. Do you want to try number 2 before I do it? Try number 2. I'll definitely do it. But takes her best up and she can do whatever she wants now.
Bless you.
Bless you. Nice. You're like one up on me for next. Hi, Oscar. Did I get Oscar? Where did you? Oscar was in the desk. So he knows that? Welcome back, Mr. James. Thank you, Cal. It is. But if it's isosceles, what do you know about the base and the height?
So it's base squared. 1/2 squared. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
What does it?
You're so silly.
Am I good or not yet?
Wait, give me like 5 more seconds. Wait, give me like 5 more seconds.
Feel free to just like make this classroom your own. What if Gilmore? You cannot access. What if Ryan? How's Miller first? Okay, so I'm going to start with isosceles right triangles with one leg in the xy plane. So perpendicular to the y-axis, it's going to look like this is a right angle. I got to make it look weird because like 3D, you know. So something like that. Where you get these triangles coming out of the board. What's the area of any triangle? 1/2 base times height, right? Well, if it's isosceles, you know the base and the height are the same. And then you can just say, okay, it's 1/2 times the base squared. So we are going to integrate 1/2 times the base, which I don't know what it is yet, squared times what? dy or dx? dy. I'm going to put -6 and 6 here, but am I doing that because it's the x values or because it's the y values? Like it's the same, right? They're both -6 and 6. Which one am I choosing? The y values, because every single thing in here needs to be in terms of y. Well, my next step is I got to do like the right minus, like how far is this distance? Is right minus left. I don't have those equations yet. And to get those equations, I have to get in terms of y, which means solve for. In terms of y, it means solve for x. So I want to solve this for x. So x squared plus y squared equals 36. Let's say I subtract y squared from both sides. And then I get two square roots. I get x equals 36 minus y squared. And I get x equals negative root 36 minus y squared. I don't think I said root the first time, but you know what I mean. And then the positive is the one on the right, and the negative is the one on the left. So when I go to fill in the base of each one of those shapes, it's right minus left, and you'd end up with that. So that's your. This is your setup. This is what you would type in. Questions on that? Yeah. Is it? Do you have like negative y squared plus 36? Then you're okay. Let's say that. If you have y squared minus 36, yeah. Totally fine. You're allowed to like. This can just kind of go back and forth, like factor out or not. Any other questions on this one? Try 3. This is kind of the same.
They're all kind of the same.
Are they? There's only so many ways I can do it. Let's do 4 actually. Skip to 4. Sorry about my lie. I mean, I want you to do 3 eventually, but I'd like to go over. Yeah, sure as hell.
It's summer.
Like most days, it's still there.
Like 9 months on
So like how did you score it? Like did it take that?
How do you guys do Friday? 12 every state? Okay. So like other stores have to come in?
Damn, you didn't make it states? Did you guys do that?
know yet.
You have to wait and see how other competitions went. That's the one.
Yeah, we have to wait for everyone's score to go in. Because people are stuck at PAs. Or 2 days ago. Yeah.
So did you do good or bad?
We guys did it. What about
42. So,
We kind of got screwed over with it.
yeah, that's good.
Oh, I do. Man, they were expensive.
you have to square 9 on the inside? That's fine. Okay, so let me go through it. We've got rectangles with height half of that of the side. So just kind of starting off, I know that area of a rectangle is base times height. But the heights are half of the base, so it's like base times 1/2 base. So it's 1/2 base squared. It's actually just like the isosceles right triangle. So I'm going to plug in I'm going to put from 0 to 1 because the y values are the bounds here. The bottom of my shape is at y equals 0, the top is at y equals 1. I'm going to have 1/2, and you can put it inside or outside. I put it inside last time, so I'll put it outside this time. And then right minus left squared, and then times dy. So I've got to find, it's like this distance here that I'm looking for. So I've got to find out what the right-hand equation is and what the left-hand equation is. Usually that's just a matter of getting this in terms of y. Every single thing you put in this equation has to be a y value. If you try to put this x squared over 9 in, it's not going to work, it's not a y value. So we got to get this solved for x. So y equals x squared over 9. I'd probably multiply both sides by 9, so I get x squared equals 9y. And then when you square root it, you get the square root of 9y and the negative square root of 9y. So I think they probably took a 3 out, because you can take the square root of the 9 part. But you don't need to do that. You can, it's up to you. And then the positive one is the one on the right, and the negative one is the one on the left. So that's the equation you should have that you should type in. Wait, what? What's up? I mean, think about that. The positive's on the, like, positive x value is on the right, right? Are you talking about the right and left, like right and left, or like which one goes where?
Yeah.
So it's always right minus left. And like, you gotta just choose. Are you okay? So this is this guy. Obviously. So this is this guy. Does that help? Like, you said I was talking before. We good? Kenzie, how you feel? Ben? Oscar, are you? Like, you keep going, or you gonna keep down to work? Alright, go to work.
Good work.
Tomorrow we'll see what you really understand. So wait, before you go to work, let me just quick look up here for what's going on for the next week. Tomorrow, like I said, you get that like big review, and then Wednesday and Thursday I won't see you for the testing. You guys still come here, but nobody's love you unless you're junior. There's no junior. So you guys will still come to this room, but nobody's sub. I won't be here. I need to go to school. And then my plan is next Monday giving you another review, and then Tuesday your test. I also signed a bunch of content, so I was looking forward to Pelican in the meantime. I don't want you to go too long.